जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं
Paramahamsa Nityananda is a rare living incarnation, a yogi by birth. He has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English, books in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese, with translations in 26 languages are available. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 8,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services, ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world offer exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. Having meditation centers in 151 countries including Bidadi, Tiruvannamalai, Rajapalyam, Salem, Hyderabad, Varanasi, Los Angeles, Ohio, Seattle, San Jose and Phoenix. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation. A contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers. Adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, he has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands, gracing them with spiritual powers. A spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples worldwide in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Tiruvannamalai in India. A dynamic young guru who is an inspiration to thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online. A beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतं नित्यमुक्तं निर्विकल्पं ध्यानलोकप्रदीपकं वन्दे शान्तमयं बन्धं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् आनन्दगन्धसञ्चारं सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं वन्दे ज्ञानालयं नाथं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
Here is a question. My dear Swamiji, I keep feeling that there is something not so authentic about the way I am leading my life. I am doing everything right, paying my taxes even. But still, how to live a really authentic life? Rupesh Agarwal, in India, you are paying taxes properly means something extraordinary. You are honest, no doubt. But honesty is only one ingredient for authenticity. It is not authenticity by itself. Please understand. Honesty is only one ingredient for authenticity. Authenticity is something more than honesty. I'll give you the difference between honesty and authenticity. For example, if you are angry with somebody, you will express directly to that person, I am angry with you. It is honesty, but that is not authenticity. Authenticity means really two beings may understand each other where even the anger will not happen. Please understand there is a difference between honesty and authenticity. Honesty is socially good quality. Authenticity is spiritual quality. It is not social good quality. When you say you even pay taxes, you are honest. But don't mistake that honesty into authenticity. Honesty is only the first step, initial step. Authenticity is the spiritual quality. Authenticity means living the spiritual truths authentically. See, a husband lying to the wife, neither there is honesty nor authenticity. Husband telling truth to the wife that he is a womanizer is honesty but not authenticity. Husband living just as a husband is authenticity. So each person's role, if he or she is completely living, it is authentic. When he is failing and revealing the failure to the other person, it is honesty. Revealing the failure is not living successfully. Understand? Revealing the failure is revealing the failure. It is honest, no doubt, but not authentic. Rupesh, maybe you should look into your life. You are paying your taxes. Are you paying back to the universe? Are you keeping the balance sheet with the universe proper? You may be keeping your balance sheet proper with a country, nation. Are you keeping your balance sheet proper with the cosmos, with the universe? What is the meaning of the word keeping the balance sheet in tune with the cosmos? Means just remembering continuously you are not qualified for anything. Everything is showered on you. Please understand. Remembering everything is a gift given to you by the cosmos in your life is what I mean by keeping your balance sheet straight with the cosmos. You don't need to pay anything back. The attitude, everything is a gift to you, is keeping the balance sheet authentic with the cosmos. Rupesh, maybe you need little gratitude to bring authenticity in your life. You do not know, gratitude is such a powerful ingredient. The moment you add that, honesty become authenticity. I have seen people many times mistake honesty into authenticity. No, honesty is not authenticity. Honesty is more like a hot love. Authenticity is like a cool stream. Understand? Honesty will always be demanding. I am honest, you be honest. Authenticity will be always flowing. I am flowing, I don't bother about you. Authenticity fills you and others. Honesty burns others and you. Many times I have seen the people who are honest, within few days or few weeks or few months, they will torture and kill the other person in the name of honesty. God, honesty is a foolish substitute to authenticity. There are so many beautiful stories between Radha and Krishna, Sati and Shiva, where Sati was having honesty but not authenticity. Radha was having honesty but not authenticity. When you are caught by honest people, it is like marrying English philosophy teacher. Just by words, she will boil you. English teacher is more than enough. And philosophy teacher, this honesty demands or tries to torture the other person. First of all, understand, honesty is basic ideas. The foundations on which you built your concept of honesty and the foundations with which each person builds his life is different. It is like you are building on the ground. From the second floor you are standing saying, I am stretching my hand. You stretch your hand and lift me. And the other person is there sitting on a building which is above the hill. His very foundation is above the hill. And you say, I am honest, I am stretching my hand. You also be honest, stretch your hand and lift me. Come on, your foundation is different, my foundation is different. Be authentic. Just climb the hill up. Come, I am here to lift you. When I say climb the hill and come, that is what? I am lifting you. The very idea of honesty is built on your ego. But authenticity is built on the cosmic understanding. Authenticity is living the truths from yourself. Honesty is living the versions of the truths given to you by society. What is most of the honest people say? Whatever society taught you as a truth, you try to live. It is just based on the fact or the figure, which is not the truth of the life. Facts and figures are not the truths of the life. Just yesterday I was seeing a documentary on the history of India. The very word is wrong. India does not have history. Purana of India is the right word. Because we never bothered about the components required for history. See, components required for history is facts, figures, time, all that. One historian, Indian fellow, has an audacity to tell Indians did not have the sense of leaving the history to the future, posterity. They did not care for posterity. Fool doesn't know. After 60,000 years, still we remember who gave the Gayatri mantra to whom and what is the meter it should be chanted. Exactly as it is, untouched. In the whole world, uncorrupted, oldest literature is Vedas. Without any manipulation, pollution, corruption, misrepresentation, morphing. It is there as it is. Then how this guy is saying that Indians did not bother about keeping things for posterity? No. We did, but we did not bother about these facts and figures because that is not our psyche. Our psyche is all about the conscious evolution. See, our purpose of life itself was conscious evolution. So anything which is not necessary for that, we never bothered about it. How are you going to consciously evolve? Which donkey has killed which donkey in which place at which year? So we are not the people who are bothered about the facts and figures and numbers. We are the people who are bothered about conscious growth. So anything related to conscious evolution, we have very systematically recorded. Can you imagine the days when there was no TV or radio or any other mass communication system? From Harappa to Rameshwaram, the same Gayatri was getting recited. From the Kailash to Columbu, same Rudram was getting chanted in the same meter, in the same tone, in the same tune. How dare these fellows say that Indians did not have sense about saving things for posterity? We saved what is useful. You save junk, we save whatever is necessary. The fellows who saved too many junk, it is like I have seen in Tiruvannamalai, one mad fellow was there, he will collect all the junk, dirt and keep it with him. Suddenly one day, somehow by mistake he got the power, because many times mad fellows only get the power. He got the power and he declares, from today only junk should be collected. All currency loses the value, only junk has value. What will happen? That's the same thing is happening. These foolish fellows created foolish history of facts and figures which has no use for the future of the humanity, and they are saying Indians have not collected the history. I am starting this enlightening TV just to teach all these things to the world. From Kedarnath to Trigonamalai, the temples built are in the same proportion. The sounds created are the same meter. The actions performed are in same tune. From Kedarnath to Trigonamalai, honesty is better than dishonesty, hypocrisy, no doubt. As I said, with honesty, you will have place in my feet. But only with authenticity, you have place in my heart.